Hey everybody, Kim Martin here, founder of I've Decided, down at Whitecast Studio, getting ready to record our third show of the month. On the third Tuesday of every month, we are going to be bringing our show, My Success, to you. I'm super excited. I hope you enjoyed the first two shows that we aired so far. On the first Tuesday was Inspired, and then last Tuesday we did Our Community. And so the third Tuesday of every month, we will be bringing you My Success. And this show is geared all about information and education. So those are two pieces of the puzzle that you need to be successful. You need information, you need education, and we want to be able to provide that to you. We do that through a few ways, and one of the things that we do is have motivational leadership conferences. In fact, every year we have a motivational and leadership conference series. It's a three-part series. And we have the kickoff conference in January and then two half-day conferences, one in April and one in September. So we just had our final series conference just a couple Saturdays ago and thought it would be really awesome to share with you on our first show the success panel that occurred at our conference. We got that recorded for you, and it was a hit. Everyone loved it. These leaders, fierce leaders in our community, did an amazing job, and the goal was to ask them, the concept was, what does it take to be successful? And we had some great questions for them, and then the audience participated a little bit. And I think you will be surprised by their questions, and it's funny, and you'll laugh, and also just get informed because they shared really personal success stories, and it was just so inspiring. So I want to introduce those guests to you. The first one is Jeff Griffin. He is the president of the Peoria Chamber of Commerce, and he did an outstanding job. And of course, Dr. Sheila Quirk-Bailey, she is the president of ICC. And then Christine Bare-Kemper, she is the philanthropy officer over at OSF. And last and definitely not least, one of our favorite people, Andre Allen. He is the Dean of Students over at Methodist College. So you can see that this is a fine group of successful people sharing some great information and knowledge with us. And this is just a piece of what happens at our Motivational and Leadership Conference series. And we're going to be bringing you some of those power sessions on this show, My Success. So I hope that you will tune in every Tuesday. And if you like what you see, we want to invite you to join our I've Decided community. It's pretty simple. You just go over to ivedecided.org, sign up for our community, and you will start receiving your weekly winning resources and get your yearly success planner and journal so that you can get on track to achieving your goals and dreams, because that is our purpose, helping you do that, and our mission is your success. So I hope you enjoy a portion of our conference that happened on Saturday, September the 8th out at Weaver Ridge, and this is our success panel. So have fun. So we're going to join in on this pre-recorded show, and that first question that they're answering for you is, what do you do to stay motivated in your journey?
I think it's twofold. One, it's you can call it a mirror check, but taking a look at yourself in the mirror. We're not victims, and it's so easy to be a victim, and I was for 30 years. Well, I'm this way because of them, and if I had a better life, and if my dad was this, and my mom was this, or my sister, it was always them, right? So when you have these hurdles, it's stopping and looking at yourself and going, okay, what are you going to do about it? The other thing that I think continues to keep me as I continue to hit roadblocks or hurdles or want to give up. I heard you talking earlier, Kim, about just being in church last week, and you're like, I'm so defeated, right? Like, and everybody sings every day. Somebody's having that, I'm defeated, I'm ready to give up. I have them. You get overwhelmed, you get tired, there's a lot. But surrounding yourself with positive people, who you are around you is who you are. and who you're going to become. You know, I look at my children and I can tell who they're going to become by their friends that they're hanging out with. So, one, not being a victim, you know, holding yourself accountable. You're making this decision, but then are you surrounding yourself with people that are building you up and that believe in you and are giving you the appropriate advice? Are they feeding into negativity, or are they overcoming that with positivity?
Yes, that's good.
I always try like that graduate school example. First of all, if you hit an obstacle, give yourself a minute to grieve, right? Otherwise, that grief or that feeling like you're a victim can last the rest of your life. So this is completely unfair. Okay, that was a day. So is the world. What's next, right? So I would say hold your why really close. You know, why do you want this? Why are you doing this? Let that drive you. Whether it's an example for your children, or you know, whatever you're trying to, whatever it's important to you that you're going after. There's a why there, right? That has your heart and has your soul. And don't let anyone take your why away from you. The other thing is, I'm a nerd, so I'm a big book person. I mean, there are all kinds of examples out there. So you talk about Babe Ruth, right? Home run king, also highest in strikeouts, right? So there's just a million examples out there that people who were successful and who eventually got through the obstacle also failed multiple times. So it's nothing unique about you. It's not that you've done something wrong. It's not that you can't. Maybe you still got a few more times to go, right? Dust off that paper and write it again, because they're not going to take that opportunity from you, right? So keep your why close and understand that failure, and sometimes multiple failure, is part of the process, and you can't let it beat you. Just can't let it beat you.
What was the question?
Talks so long, I forgot.
No, it was how do you overcome obstacles?
Yeah. Keep motivated to keep
Gotcha,
going.
I'm sorry.
But, you know,
How
you're
many
leading a
AD
bunch of people, right? So
You know how many ADD kids it takes to change a light bulb? Let's play kickball. Paying my mortgage. No, so I think I've seen this change so much in the last few years. Obstacles, I think, for me, I spent a lot of time creating more obstacles than I needed. So what keeps me motivated is I like to find solutions, and I like to keep the why close. Reset of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And sometimes when something seems completely, we get in a lot of politics or backbiting and so forth sometimes. And if I remember, I said earlier, there's 70,000 employees represented by the Chamber of Commerce. And I need to remember sometimes of the work that I do with my board and my team helps people pay their bills and get their groceries. So that helps me stay grounded. But I've been spending, last year especially, I've been doing some more reading in this about just being genuine and there's a lot of relief in that, and how much we get tied up. 18 years ago, I got to do, I know it's the year 2000, John Glenn Leadership Institute at Ohio State. And John Glenn, if you don't know, is a U.S. Senator, astronaut, American hero, and I got to see him and meet him at these stuff like this. And this is the guy. They said, hey, we've tried to rocket out on a few monkeys. How about you give it a world and shoot them in outer space, you know? And we didn't have as much technology in front of us. And I remember a person, their pager going off and leaving the room, and Senator Glenn said, if he can't leave his office for one day without answering a page, you know, he's in the wrong spot. Now, maybe he had an emergency, whatever, but now we are so on top of each other, we create more obstacles, I think. Simple stuff. We have a luncheon for 800 people Thanksgiving every year. Well, last year the pumpkin pie was smashed or something. Well, Sharnika Cagle, my team, who's in charge of that, she's texting me about the pie. It's like I didn't care, but what am I supposed to do about it? Whatever decision she makes. Now, she's able to solve that, but what I look at myself and say, what about my leadership is causing her to feel like she has to call me about the pie when I trust her to do her job? I got to look at that. If what have I done in the past to create more obstacles for her to do her job? And it was all solved. I don't even remember how. I think we had new cookies brought in or something. But I do that, and that instant communication with each other or creating obstacles. You might be veering off the answer, but when I level set on my purpose of being genuine and working for people, then the obstacles seem less severe.
Yeah, very good. So, do you have daily practices that contribute to your success?
So this is part of what this is not something I've done forever, but we adopted a dog in January, and we're first-time pet owners. We have a son with autism, and we've done a lot of things. He was going through some trouble. My wife, who's anti-dog, finally said, we need to get a dog. So we have. So why is this important to this answer? I get up and walk my dog at 5:30 in the morning, which has given me time to do my prayers, and simple little prayer, and keeping my mind silent. And that has really helped me. That's a newer practice, people. I'm not preaching here, but I've done that because I have to get Leo out of the house before he pees on the carpet, which sets up a whole other flurry of events. So my 5:30 routine now is I get a little 20-minute, half-hour walk with my dog, and I say my prayers and keep my mind quiet, which is a difficult thing to do.
But it's a great way to start your day.
It has been. Prayers and a bag of poop.
I was just going to say I have a similar story to Jeff's, but I'm not doing that bag of poop thing. But I am, maybe it's the farm girl in me, but I get up about 4:30 or 5 o'clock every day, and I just...
Show off.
No. I also can barely keep my eyes open to watch the 10 o'clock news, right? So I'm falling asleep before I know what's going on. But so for me, it's in the morning. It depends on what your natural clock is. But I agree with Jeff. You need the quiet time. You need that time to refocus. And it's not an hour. It's not, it can be 15 minutes. It can be 5 minutes. Here's what, and not focus on here's everything I have to do today, right? Because that can drive you crazy. But just here's where I am in my journey. What's important to me, my why right now is to help my son who's struggling in college, or help my daughter who's she's not happy in her job right now, although it's a really good job. So everyone says to her, oh, well, you'd be crazy to leave that. And I keep saying happiness isn't worth it. You can work someplace, So what are those things that are important to me that I'm going to focus on, and what am I going to do today to contribute to that? And it's slowing down. I talk fast. You notice that? I do everything a little fast. There's a wonderful book out called Thinking Fast and Slow. And so my natural speed is fast, but that relationship with a higher power, that difference, that how you approach things comes from slowing down and refocusing. And then when you speak back up, you're taking the right tack with that. So whatever time of day that works for you, that slowing down at some point and refocusing every day really helps.
I'm going to be completely vulnerable and honest because we're human. I don't have something that I do every day routine. And this is something that weighs on me. This is something that I know that I need to do. I've attempted this. I continue to fail. I am not a morning person. I tried desperately to get up, and I'll do it for 3 days, right? It takes 21 days to make a habit. I can't even make it to 4 in the morning, to 4 days in a row. So I don't have a routine that I do every day to keep me grounded. I think what I do is it's a constant through the day. When we're talking about those mirror checks and are doing this, it's just, okay, if I start to feel overwhelmed, I can't take a quick step back and go, okay, what am I doing right now? What am I doing? I'm very reactive. So this is something that I do struggle with. It is something that I do know that I need to do. And maybe this is something I can decide, right? We can work on this and, have some accountability. But it's true. I don't want to stand up.
Jeff says you can walk his dog.
You can start back running with me.
There we go. So this is, maybe next year or in January, whenever we sit down and we have this conference, I can come back and tell you what it is that I've done for 6 months. So.
That'd be awesome. Yes.
What I do is when I get to work, I write down my daily prioritized task list. And, we all have our Outlook calendars and all that type of stuff, and everything's electronic now, but just something about writing it down, pen and pad, and checking it off. And then a lot of times you feel overwhelmed, but when you just write it out, okay, these are the 10 things that I need to do. I'll put a star by the ones that have the highest priority, and I get those things done. And I'll do the littlest things on there, like, hey, I'm trying to get back in the gym. I've gained the father 20. I'm guilty. All right, so I've been trying to work out, so I put workout on there. Or anything as small as, I have this meeting, I have to get this done for this organization, I have to do this, I have to do that. And that's just how I stay organized, and that's what keeps me balanced. And so that's just kind of what I rely on every day, as far as just getting to work, go to Pandora, put a little jazz on, because sometimes lyrics cloud my mind. That's why I don't play like actual music. I just put a little jazz on, smooth jazz, chill, get organized, drink my coffee, and let's get this day going.
Awesome. Yes. Good.
I'm not a morning person. I used to be a morning person, and I'm not a morning person anymore, and I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning to get to work. So I have a very negative mantra that I say in the mornings when I wake up. Even when I go to the bathroom, I have this mantra in my head. It's like, and then I get up and I repeat it to myself, and it's really, it's a bad mantra. It really is. It's like, what do I need? How do I get myself out of it? Because I don't want to get up in the first place, and that's why I'm saying that. I feel you. And so I'm feeling myself to getting more and more negative because I'm waking up like this. So it's.
I was going to say kind of what Dr. Quirk-Bailey said. You need to find your why. I think that. And I think that maybe you haven't found that yet. And I think that, and I know like a lot of us, our why might be, okay, well, my mortgage is due at the first of the month, or I have my car note, or I'm paying on this, I have that. But it can't even be that. It has to be more platonic than that. And that's a hard question to answer, finding your why. But if you can find one or two whys, I think getting up earlier will help you. I think it really will be. And so if you want to try to bounce some whys off some people, I think you have a great group that you can do that with. But I'm going to need you to find your why. And it can't be the why that society tells us. And that's, I've got to go to work, so I got to pay my bills. I got to have insurance. I got to have this. I got to have that. You need to find a platonic why, and I think that'll help you.
Yeah, there's very good.
Okay, here we go. There's some brain science
research
that actually talks about, you ever heard the expression, fake it till you make it?
Oh,
right?
I do that every day.
When you're an expert already, so you're halfway there. So when you smile, the different type of chemicals that are released in your brain help to stimulate thought and sort of create a positive feeling. So as goofy as this is going to sound, this is something they use for children in trauma and something that's being used, so you could probably talk about this more than I could, and think that for people who struggle with depression, and I'm not saying you're depressed, but lay there, find your why, and lay there, and it can't be, I need to pay my bills, because that's not motivating to the heart. What's motivating to the heart for you? I do this because then my evenings and weekends are mine, and I get to do what brings me joy. Right? I do this because I'm setting an example for my kids. Whatever it is that speaks to your heart. So as silly as this sounds, lie there, smile, and say that. And you'll find the 21 days to a habit, right? There's a lot of brain science behind that. You'll find within a month or two how you feel about things as you're exiting the bed will be much different than how you felt before. Because your mind already needs, you said they have that negative mantra, it wants a motivation. Right now it's stuck on a negative track though. So give it something, even if you don't, it's gonna feel very disingenuous, right? So it's gonna feel like I'm lying to myself. But eventually the chemicals in your brain will help you change that, right? And it will feel very differently 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now than it feels now.
Thank you. Sir.
Yes, ma'am. So as long as we're in the circle of trust and on the internet or wherever we are. That is just between us. Right. So one of the many things I learned in getting my graduate degree in social work is, I'm answering the question for myself when I've had negative. And I have found times in my life of seeking regular counseling has been good for me. And yes, the president of the Chamber of Commerce has been in counseling. And it was actually a requirement of my graduate degree. You're going through panic attacks on papers and stuff. I was like, oh wow, I can actually be a consumer of these services as well. And so for myself, there's been times throughout my career where I've level 7 in 6 months, 9 months, whatever, on some people ongoing, but seeking someone away from work, away from church even, away from my family, to bounce stuff off has been very good for me.
And we actually have a resource, so you should think about that.
Yes, she is.
Well, yeah, really quick though, I have to add something. This is like my field here too, so I can't not say this. One of the things that I teach when I'm coaching someone in behavior change is R&R. Reject and replace. We all get negative self-talk, okay? It's just a part of our makeup. We're hard on ourselves, and it's going to happen no matter how positive you are, what you look. So that you when that negative self-talk comes in, you take it for what it's worth. You reject it as a lie. You literally say, that is a lie, that is not true. So, oh my gosh, I feel so and then you replace it with, I am fat, fabulous, fit, and fierce. So you reject the lie, you replace it with the truth. R&R. We all get negative self-talk, you have to reject it. So yeah, you guys can tell I am a little passionate about that R&R. You need to give that self-talk some R&R, not rest and relaxation, but reject and replace. So that's just a good way to remember how important positive self-talk is. And so just wanted to wrap up our My Success show by reminding you that our weekly winning word this week is honor. And you know, the best way to honor yourself is to be successful in your goals and dreams, whatever they are. And that's what we want to help you with at I've Decided. So I am super excited about these shows that we're going to be bringing you each week, and I hope you are too. We will be back next Tuesday, our fourth Tuesday, and our fourth and final show of the month is The Source, and that's about bringing you tools and resources that you need to be successful. We will be talking to Nissa out at Lincoln College, Abe. Yes, we have an adult accelerated bridge program right here in Peoria. Did you know that? You can finish up your degree. So it's a great resource for you if you are needing to finish up some education. So be sure to join us and tune in. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you next week.
PeoriaLife.com